I find very difficult to define myself or someone else, especially nowadays. We tend to tag people. She's an accountant, he's a manager, she's an artist. Me, for example, I'm a talent scout, manager, but also a composer, musician, father, husband, friend. How do I describe myself in a piece of paper, in a resume, to get a job that I never had done before? What the recruiter will see on my resume? And what about what I could become? Talent has never been so globalized in the history of humankind. Knowledge transfer from company to company and from culture to culture has never been easier than it is now. So how come so many organizations have difficulty on finding the right talent? In a study released this year by HR.com and the IBM Smarter Workforce Institute, entitled How Organizations Identify and Hire Great Talent, 500 HR professionals were asked what are the top hiring challenges they face. The top challenges identified were finding people with the right skill set and that wages and salaries are not competitive enough. Well, this is a fact. We all know that. Before I continue, I want to ask you a couple of questions. Who in this room has been interviewed for a job before? Okay. Who has interviewed someone for a job? Okay. So I will describe what I call the inherent limitations of the standard recruitment process and demonstrate how innovation in recruitment brings innovation in people and therefore innovation in organizations. The following top 3 challenges identified in that same study were losing candidates during the recruitment process, ability to attract and attract candidates who are not actively seeking for a new job, and lack of good assessment during the interview process to identify the best candidates. Well, this is good news because we have control over these elements. We can make the process faster. We can attract people by searching them, and we can innovate in our recruitment methods. Everything starts with talent. People, how they appear, how they develop, how we find and integrate them, and how they can act as innovation agents. But what is talent then? Talent is not simply a gift or a predisposition to accomplish a particular task. No. Talent is motivation. Motivation is interest, passion. So, talent equal interest plus effort, of course, divided by the external conditions, positive conditions minus negative conditions. Let's say we all are part of the same village. Okay? In our village, both family and community play an important role on the development of each individual. The aspects we want to develop in our people are self-confidence and empathy. The corporate environment, it's very similar to our village, where support and confidence must be fostered in order to allow the talent to start their journey effectively. Let's say we have a traveler from a distant country arrives in our village. We tell him if he wants to live with us. He says yes, but he's not familiar with the way we do things. But he knows other things. He has different approaches. So if we set the right conditions and he's interested, he will be able to integrate and contribute to our village. So we can say that diversity is an innovation vector. In our equation, we had negative conditions and positive conditions. Organizations must play a role to minimize the negative conditions. In that same study, only 38% of HR professionals say their organizations are good at locating and nurturing pools of qualified candidates. How can we help creating positive conditions? Impact investment, it's a good option. It can take different forms. Microfinance investments, grants, mentoring, innovation prizes, etc. So I will give you one example. This kid, Fabrice Becker, a French kid, when he was young, he was passionate about skiing. One year, he went to a 2-week skiing camp. He loved it. He returned a couple of years in a row, and in 1 year, one of the participants approached his mother saying, "This kid, he's so passionate about acrobatic skiing. He should go to a sport education program." The kid was thrilled by the idea. But they didn't have such a program where they lived. So his mother had to found a program, and the closest one was 700 kilometers from home. Well, with time, Fabrice became a champion in his discipline. At 14, he moved to his coach house, far from home. He was on the elite of acrobatic skiing. He won 21 World Cup phases, was twice world champion, and won a gold medal at the Albertville Winter Olympic Games in '92. This example shows exactly what I'm trying to say. The talent is passion, interest, effort, but also the conditions around it. So cultivating the talent is innovating in people. The main gap in today's talent acquisition strategies is that most companies are just hoping to find the right talent when they need. Well, if your organization invested helping to create the positive conditions, the perception of the candidates toward your company will be much higher. Techniques as posting your jobs in your website, sharing in social media, hiring headhunters, going to congresses, or even using artificial intelligence to filter candidates are good, but not sufficient. When we post a job in our website, we get a lot of resumes. We have to filter them, verify if they are true. We normally look for people who already did a similar job before. I don't like that phrase, minimum of 5 years of experience in a similar role. I think we are just limiting ourselves that way. So, a resume it's like a photo. There's no movement, no life. It's boring. In my experience, the most important thing in a recruitment process is to test the learning abilities of someone. Not what they did in the past, but who they are today and who they can become. Of course, we have to test the basic abilities to do the job, but what then? What they will become, what they will teach us, what they will learn. So, in that same study, HR professionals say that they regret 31% of their hires. We often hire on hard skills and fire on soft skills. So, an athlete's career can be short, and Fabrice didn't know what to do after his competitive career. And there was this encounter that changed everything. A Cirque du Soleil talent scout met Fabrice in a competition in '98, and there was this connection between the two. He was inspired. There was something new. So he sent some drawings to the casting team, showing what could be done in a show environment with acrobatic skiing. He got a call a few weeks later, interview, job offer, and moved from France to Canada. He became a great talent scout. But he had never done any casting before. He was not a circus specialist, but he had transferable knowledge to be a good talent scout. So, how can we be interested by something that we haven't been exposed to? It's impossible. So we can say that inspiring someone is innovating in people. At Cirque du Soleil, we hire athletes, as you saw in the video, to become artists. A third of our 1,300 artists come directly from disciplines like gymnastics, trampoline, action sports, acro sports, synchronized swimming, etc. So we find, train, and accompany them in this transition from athlete to artist. Our casting team goes toward the talent. We invest in recruitment marketing. We go to conferences, competitions, festivals. We have auditions. We have a talent database where we document artists who are good now, but artists who will become mature in the midterm. So when you meet someone great who does not fit what you're looking for right now, keep them in mind for the future. Create your own talent database. We also have the preparation performance program. It's an internship to help the artists at disciplines at risk to be ready. So we are helping them on overcoming the obstacle, the gap between being an athlete and an artist. It's a give and take. So internship is also a way to innovate in people. We must help talent to overcome the obstacles and set the right conditions. Someone's career can take different paths. Me, for example, I'm a trained musician and I play bass guitar for over 30 years now. Yeah, you can laugh. In 2005, I've integrated one of the Cirque du Soleil shows as a bass player. I toured almost 2 years, and after the tour, I questioned myself. I didn't know what to do next. I wanted to be more independent. Musicians depend on other musicians to work, especially a bass player. Have you ever seen a bass solo concert? Boom, boom, no. So someone told me that Cirque du Soleil was looking for a talent scout. So I went there, I met some people, I already knew some people, I got the job, I started with as a talent scout, and 3 years later, my boss came to me, asked me, are you interested in being the head of the talent scouting team at Cirque du Soleil? I was like, what? I had the accounting and managing experience, but not in that particular domain. So, as a musician and as a manager, I had many mentors who helped me overcome the obstacles. So, mentoring is also a way of innovating in people. We spend more time at work than we spend at home. So our workplace and teams must be functional. Fabrice spent more than 10 years at casting, and now he's director of creation of a new show opening in the 2020. He had to build the team to do the show. I asked him, what you look for when you build a team? He said, for me, the most important thing is the ability to work in a team. But to evaluate that, intuition plays an important role. So if you have that gut feeling, this person is maybe not the right fit, but I like this person, trust your intuition. Our casting and performance vice presidency, we have different departments. So we cast the artists, we sign them, we train, we care, we coach. The teams are connected with the same clear end goal, the artist, the talent. Talent, like innovation, does not happen by chance. Innovation can be designed using design thinking, concept knowledge theory, by association of ideas, but also by recruitment. So when we do auditions, we ask athletes to dance, musicians to act, swimmers to fly. And some manage to do that, even if it's not in their resume. So we have to open up for different talent pools. Look for transferable skills. Learning and deduction abilities are top priorities. Don't wait the talent to come to you. Create your own database. Open internships. Encourage change, career change. Innovation in people generate innovation in organizations. Remember, take control. Make the hiring process faster by looking for transferable skills. Attract and attract new candidates by creating a good corporate image, by investing in the middle ground. Innovate the way you interview candidates. Look for learning and problem-solving abilities first. Humans are more than resources. Humans are sources of innovation. Thank you.